It's definitely been getting colder out here. Crisp air and light flaky snow that doesn't stick. The room I've been renovating is now really coming together. I built a library, a desk, and I've been working on the bunket seat that doubles as a bed. It is so close. Having limited space is forcing me to think about function, and I was inspired by this beautiful piece of furniture to build something similar. In the past few videos you've seen me create a Tetris-like framework, lament over my new Japanese saw, and make the pull-out section that turns the seating into a bed. I am so close to a comfortable night of sleep. Oh hi! I've been sleeping in my unfinished bunket bed during the reunit. I'm going to move in here, sleep here until it was actually finished. But my guest house inside is colder than it is outside. I have my camping gear, my quilt, and my inflatable pad fully camping on top of my bed. And it's pretty comfortable. Also, the mean spider has not yet come out to stare at me, which I'm quite happy about. Let's move on. This is today's project. I'm going to cut the tabletops that sit on either side of the bunket seating. My drawing includes all the measurements, and I'm using the same pine countertop I used for my kitchen and also my work tabletops. Let's make a tabletop with two. Okay, I'm hoping that these measurements are correct. First, I'm cutting the pieces that will sit underneath the desk. This is an L shape and too large for one piece, so I'm doing a diagonal cut. Let's see if this fits before I continue with the rest. Oh. Like this. Three pieces. First is going on that end. It's a little bit wonky, which is annoying because it's going to make constructing the rest of this a little bit more difficult. But this is going to have a hinge on the back side, so I can just open it up. And then these two are going out there. So that seems to fit. That is very cool. Oh. Okay, I need to do the legs and the front bar for these two end parts. The storage in these end sections is going to be lined with OSB. Plywood is of course much nicer, but the affordable option was much too rough, so I decided to try OSB instead. I also make sure to apply a layer of wood wax in case it's still off-gassing. I think I've come to a point where I have quite a few moving parts and I'm not sure where to continue. So I made the framework for this pull-out section. The boxes, I made one of them. I'm going to wait to make the rest until I have received the drawer runners. There's going to be ply to the front of all of these sections, but I want to make all of these boxes before I cut those. Then I have this end unit. Again, the box, I need the hinges. I'm going to have a flap that goes down. And on that end, I cut the OSB for the box inside here. But before I fit all of that, I was going to make this unit very heavy, so I sort of want to wait until all of the other things are fixed. I'm at a standstill. Essentially, I'm just waiting for my drawer runners and hinges to arrive, but I figured there's one thing I can do, and that's to paint the door. It's partially hidden behind the seating, so I figured this is my last opportunity to really paint it properly. I did 3 layers of the same off-white I used on the windows. So I only have a small paintbrush, but this is so much easier to paint than the window. Day 2, layer 2, it's looking a lot better already. The craziest thing is that this is the first door that I've actually painted here. I completely forgot to show it off once it was done, but this door looks really good now. I also can't believe this is the first door I've actually painted inside the house, because it's such a simple upgrade and it makes a huge difference. It seems my drawer runners and hinges have arrived. I'm wondering if I should just quickly go into town to pick it up. Got my package, and I've also got some extra food for if I get snowed in this winter. So because I wasn't planning on going to the grocery store just yet, I was able to get some things to kind of stock up for winter. Frozen vegetables, oat milk. I know people love telling me that I can make oat milk from oats, but that requires oats. Coffee, things like crackers and pasta, a few extra things that will keep me alive. Snow here in my area comes and goes, so it's not like I'm going to have snow and then it's never going to go away. I might not be able to go to the grocery store for like 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm going to store this in the back of my cupboard so I can't get to it. Hide it from myself. These past few years I've been learning new things almost every day, and it's really opened my eyes to how much we can really achieve as humans, which we often forget. I'm really excited to be working with Skillshare, as they're an amazing tool in this. So thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community. They have thousands of classes with topics for everyone. Business classes if you're looking to change your life around, or if you're looking to take the next step in your creative journey, then there are classes on sewing, interior design, photography, just to name a few. There are also classes on productivity, and with today's distractions and almost endless possibility, I think that's something that we could all really benefit from. You might know that I've been using Skillshare to improve my gouache painting skills, but I recently started a course that was quite different, but really piqued my interest. I am following Bullet Journaling Life Management for Creatives by Dylan Mierzwinski. I'm genuinely loving this course. I always have notebooks for different purposes, which I find really messy. I'm always creating lists for things to buy, things to do, the deadlines I need to work towards. And on top of that, sketches for designs, technical details, and clothing pieces I want to sew. Being a freelancer and doing this renovation is quite overwhelming, so I'm always trying to find a way to note things down in a way that clears my headspace. And this class is not only showing me an actionable way to do this, but also an aesthetic way, which as a creative is even more impactful and enjoyable. I just love how this one class is introducing me to an approach that I can really take with me and benefit from. So if you're like me and you love learning new skills and improving yourself, I would highly suggest joining Skillshare. The first 500 people to use my link will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So check the link in my description box. I hope you keep on learning, and don't forget that it's never too late to try something new. My drawer runners. I'm excited about this. Oh, a sad thing happened too this morning when I turned on my oven slash hot plate little kitchen appliance. It killed all of my electricity, tripped my breaker, tripped the circuit, short circuited, it tripped something. It tripped everything. So I went upstairs, hit the breaker thing. I thought I'd overloaded the circuit. Turn it back on, turn off the radiator, let the kettle do its thing, turn on the hob, then the same thing happened again. So I plugged it into a different plug on a different group, and the same thing happened again. So it seems that my appliance has just died, so I need to buy a new one. And that means that I can't make food. Uh-oh. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. My box is too high. Oh, my box is too No. Ooh! Okay. I have a drawer. I can fit things in here. Okay. So, one drawer down, and now I've got the other 3 to make from scratch. The drawer sides are made out of roofing tongue and groove, so I need to cut all the pieces to size, sand them, and then glue them together to achieve the right heights. After making the bottom pieces for the drawers out of OSB, I'm notching out the grooves in the sides, which is where that bottom piece will slide into. I'm using my circular saw to make several grooves and then remove the waste by hand. Today is a very cold day. I mean, it's going to get much colder, but it's cold again. I have a fire going. I just started it. It's going to get bigger. Yesterday I did a load of gluing. See all of that? Those are drawer sides. And I'm going to put them together and make my drawers, which is exciting. I stand on this. I don't have enough screws with a big head that fits and a drawer on it, so I have to take them from the wall. Ow! Don't collapse! It's amazing. Here it is. I can put things in here. Let's put things in here. Yes. Ooh. I got something. And also this one. Time to make some drawer fronts. New headlamp. So basically, I've been sitting here for a really long time thinking about that flap door, and I got these really cool hinges for it, but I'm looking at the technical drawings and basically you need a very specific thickness for the door and the cabinet itself, and the way I constructed this bench doesn't help with the installation of the hinge. I can't figure it out. I think I'm going to scrap the idea of doing the really cool, nice, awesome hinges and just use really plain hinges. Anyways, I'm also hungry, so I'm going to eat cheese sandwiches for the 1000th time since my cooker died. I mean, it's a good thing I like cheese sandwiches. Cheese sandwiches and couscous and salads. That's what I've been eating. I guess the positive thing is that I can't eat my winter stash. I'm toasting bread. Cheese sandwiches. This is that flap door I was talking about. The plywood is only 8mm thick, so I'm gluing OSB to the back of it to add thickness, which I'll need to fix the hinges. I don't know which hinges, but there will be hinges. Next step is to work on the other side of the unit and make that front piece, which can be glued because I'm going to use the tabletop for access to the storage below. Although I did realize that the basic door hinges I wanted to use for the tabletop flap aren't actually an option because there isn't enough clearance between the back of the unit and the wall. I also can't use cabinet hinges, so that's something else that I need to find a solution for. I made another box. More storage. And I can put things in, like a cushion. Oh. Time for the ply drawer fronts. This is me trying to figure out how to attach them. I have these bits of wood which I'm using as spacers to create the same shadow gap I have between the floor and the felt gliders I put underneath the legs. I put on some glue and make sure it's spaced symmetrically in between the legs of the units. Now I just have to find a way to slide the drawers out so I can fix the drawer from behind. And that's turning out to not be so easy. I'm fixing this now, but the drawer front absolutely slid down, so I had to redo it. Okay, that was not so easy, but I think I have a technique now to get this drawer front in the right position and fix it. First I create 4 pilot holes in the drawer front. I put in the screws from behind, but I don't put them in all the way. Let's slide this in. Here we go. 2 spacers and 1 drawer front. Let's put some glue up here. Okay, I'm just going to place this and hope that the glue is just ever so slightly going to keep it in place. I think that looks good enough. I now need to fix it from behind, but I can't reach behind. So my trick is to open up the bed section. Let's carefully pull this out. And then I can reach from behind with a handheld screwdriver. So, just going to screw in the 2 top ones from behind. Then I can pull this out and fix it properly. Here we go. So many things were happening these past few weeks. I just kept jumping from one thing to the next. I still had to attach this front rail, so I'm marking where the dowels need to go and making sure everything is lined up before I glue it all together. Full disclosure, I have not been able to figure out this door here. I keep changing my mind about the hinges that I want to use. I have a flap hinge I bought specifically for the purpose, cabinet hinge, and just a plain hinge. I keep thinking about the thickness of the door. I have this 8mm shallow gap between the floor and all the other doors and the legs. So I want to maintain that, and I keep thinking about a hinge and then realizing I wouldn't be able to maintain that gap. Yeah, I'm gonna do that another day and just leave it for now. Just let it be happy. Okay, we're getting very close. We have 2 flappy doors that we sort of need to look at a little bit more. We have some fixtures to attach, 4 drawers, 2 more storage spaces, tabletop, and like shelf down there, and the hidden bed, my invisible bed. It's invisible because during the day it is a bunket seating. So that's the next step. Let's make a bunket seat. Okay, I am very much looking forward to no longer camping on my own invisible bed. I got this from IKEA during summer when my parents were here and we had a car. Well, it's one of the cheapest ones, which is the theme of my renovation. So, okay, let's... I think it takes a minute to thicken up, or does it? Maybe this is just it. It's 12 centimeters thick, so it's not very thick. So as you can see, the single bed is a little bit too deep for me, and that's because I have the seating bits and the backrest, and I'm essentially just going to cut it up and put a new fabric around it. Oh, maybe I'll show you my fabric options. Okay, sorry, it's like 20 minutes later and I've just been mildly freaking out over the fact that this isn't as high as it's supposed to be. This mattress just needs to get thicker. It's supposed to be 12 centimeters thick and right now it's just 9. And I specifically want to make this dining seat height, not lounge height. So I can put a table here and have additional seats on the other side for all of my friends to come hang out with me, my theoretical friends. I mean, this thing has been wrapped up in that thing for a really long time. It's just foam. I'm just hoping the foam is going to, you know, do that. Anyways, look at me, look at me. Ah, yeah, look at that. I mean, hinges would be nice, but look, I got a few things which I'm excited about. First, fabric 1, which is a curtain. Fabric 2, which is not a curtain. And some crazy stuff. So I'm going to use this for the top and the side of the bunket seating and the backrest. And then for the underside and the back, I decided to do another fabric. I got this upholstery fabric, and I figured I always have the option to turn the pads around. So if at one point I actually don't like this big velvety color anymore, I can turn it around and see whether this looks nicer. Then I got this. Okay, I just got 1 meter of it. This is not my type of fabric. It's way too traditional, but I've been looking at this fabric online for probably more than a year now, and for some reason I've been really intrigued by this, and I just figured I should buy it. It's a really nice thick fabric, and I think I'm going to make pillows and then just see whether it looks good. I don't know, I might hate it. It's so not me. For some reason I'm so intrigued by it. I love these flowers. I don't know, there's something about it. Oh gosh, I want you to poof up. Turn into your 12 centimeters. Slightly terrifying, but let's do it. Turns out A bread knife works really well for cutting foam. Okay, look at this. This is super cool. Hold on. Happening. So, one and two. Okay. Oh. Yeah. Okay, cool. This is amazing.